So why should we, as parents and educators in the 21st century, care about social emotional learning? Well, let's go back in time a little bit to the beginning of the century. In 2003, Illinois passed the Children's Mental Health Act. And then in 2004, Illinois became the first state in our country to adopt the social emotional learning standards for public school children, SEL for short. So at the time, I was working as a speech language pathologist at a school outside of Chicago, and I was trained to teach SEL to kindergartners. On one particular day, I had the anger lesson to teach, and I taught children the word anger, different words to label that emotion, what might activate anger within us, what we can do to calm down our nervous system so that we can then peacefully problem solve. And on that same evening, I had therapy with Jim. And I had been in therapy for years, both individual and group therapy, because I was struggling with relationships, how I related to myself, relationships with other human beings, colleagues, friends, romantic partners. I brought this lesson to Jim, my therapist, and I said, would you read this and tell me if this is what you and I have been working on, anger? He took his time, he read that lesson, and he looked at me and he said, Stacy, this is exactly what we've been working on. That was an aha moment for me for two reasons. Number one, how incredibly helpful would it have been to start learning the skills I was learning as an adult in kindergarten? SEL skills would have changed the trajectory of all of my relationships. Number two, I wasn't broken. I just hadn't been taught. And I share this story with you to invite you into this work of personal work of developing our own emotional intelligence, our own SEL, because this is the starting point for being able to teach it to our children. We can't teach what we don't embody and know, and it's not our fault. So the invitation is to come to this work with a gentleness and a kindness, because we weren't given the opportunity to learn this in school, but we can now. So be gentle with ourselves, honoring where we are and where we can go, to be curious and humble, and know that the more we put into developing our own embodied social emotional learning, our own emotional intelligence, the more we can model for these children who are always watching us, who are always clued into our emotions, how we respond when we're activated, what we do to solve problems, how we get along with people we don't agree with. These children in our care in this 21st century are very soon going to be in charge of the world. I can think of no grander goal than to equip them with the ability to peacefully solve problems. It all starts with emotional intelligence. It all starts with us. So thank you. Thank you for the hard work that you do as parents, as teachers, and thank you for always staying on top of what it is that's going to prepare our children for the future. Be well.